Hey, AP Psych, Mr. Gallagher here, back for another mini lesson in AP Psychology, mental processes and behavior. So, Unit 5 is a huge unit. In fact, it encompasses 13 to 17% of the exam. So, again, 100 question multiple choice exam, there's potential for 13 to 17 questions to be Unit 5 cognition related. Same thing with the FRQ. So, it's a lot, so I'm going to break this down into several lessons. So the first thing I want to do is, real quick, part A is memory. All right, memory we're going to talk about because cognition, wheels turning, it's mental processes, including memory. So there's a number here, 216-757-423-288-213-840-47529. That's a 30-digit number, I think, give or take. I'm not sure. But can you remember this number? I'm going to click off it and see if I can. So again, Unit 7A is memory. Now, the reason I put that number up there is because one of the interesting things about memory is once something hits long-term storage in your brain, it's called permanent storage. It's there forever. So I'm going to go ahead and try this right now. And I swear I'm not looking at anything else. I'm going to try and visualize what I just saw. I'm going to try and repeat it. 216-757-423-288-404-7529. So I think if you go back and look at that, I think I got it right. That number is there permanently. Theoretically, in 5 years, you can ask that number, and I should be able. It's in my memory. Now, I might not be able to recall it, but it's there. Trust me, okay? So, memory is persistence of learning over time via the storage and retrieval of information. What is that? Oh, it's my flashbulb going off above my head. That's pretty cool. Flashbulb memory, and while it's there, it is a clear moment of emotional significant moments or events. When the planes crashed into World Trade Centers, it is burnt. It's a flashbulb in my memory. Boom. Powerful, strong, significant, lasts for a long time, and you could visualize it very clearly. All right. Memory as information processing is similar to the computer you're on right now. It has encoding, getting the information to file. It has storage, the hard drive or flash drive. And then it has retrieval. Clicking that mouse, open a file up. You're reading it from a disk. Again, a hard drive or a flash drive. So it's similar to a computer, how it works. There is different stages of memory. All right, in memory, we have sensory memory, which is stage 1. It's an immediate initial recording of sensory information in your memory. It's fleeting. It doesn't stay all the time. If it stayed all the time, we'd be bombarded with information constantly. The sensory memory filters that out and allows us to determine what's going to make it to the next level. Now, working memory focuses more on the processing of briefly stored information. Working memory helps you get through stuff, do stuff. Like I'm picking up the phone, I could dial a number. That's working memory. All right. Short-term memory, stage 2, it goes from sensory into short-term. It holds items briefly for a few seconds, maybe a minute. For example, when you think of a phone number, let's go 704-736-1860-1860. So you're sitting there remembering that stuff. It's in your short-term memory, and you can actually call the number, but it doesn't process into long-term necessarily. It can leave. Now, sensory memory, short-term memory, and then the third and final stage, also known as permanent memory, is long-term memory. That's the third stage. Relatively permanent and limitless because our brain's like a super terabyte holder of information. And just like that number I read to you before, I can still visualize it right now. It's there. If it wasn't in long-term, I could not remember it right now. That time's gone. That time's gone. All right, there's effortful encoding, getting it in, and automatic. Automatic, you don't have to study for. You taste something delicious, it effortlessly goes into your memory. Like right now, I can visualize and smell that food from Thanksgiving. I didn't have to study that. It happened. Effortful encoding is actually rehearsing and studying to get the information into short-term memory and hopefully long-term memory. All right, Clive Waring, check this video out if you get a chance. This man has had encephalitis and damage to his hippocampus and other parts of his brain where he has no more short-term memory. It's a very sad but a good case study on memory, short-term, and information processing. Okay, again, automatic processing, unconscious, effortless encoding of incidental information given in the context of space, time, and frequency. If you see someone in a hall many times over a day, it encodes automatically. All right, and you can use time and space also to track things back. So if you lose something, you have to think back. Okay, where was I? Okay, I was in the kitchen. All right, came in through the side door, went in the kitchen, put my keys in the key rack, went to upstairs to check. Oh, there it is. All right, automatic. Effortful processing is studying. Requires attention and conscious effort to encode the information onto your hard drive, that brain. Rehearsal is one way we effortlessly process information by constantly repeating information to maintain it in consciousness and hopefully move it from sensory to short term to long term. Encode and continue. The Ebbinghaus effect is basically, it's a forgetting curve. Determining a forget for time is important. The more you practice something on the first day, the fewer repetitions you need on day 2. Okay? Also, the spacing effect. If you distribute your practice, it's better than cramming. Spacing out, do a little bit at a time. Work as you go, study as you go. Space it out, it yields better results in processing information to your memory. Serial position effect, this also pops up in the AP exam quite a bit. It's a tendency to best recall the first and last items in a sequence. Like right now, boom, I can remember 216, 7529. All right. Now, I still can remember the middle, but those things are easiest because of the first items and the last items. So sometimes you have to study that middle stuff in order to make it stick. All right. All right, what do we encode? How do we encode it? What's that mean? We encode sound, meaning, and vision. Semantic encoding is the encoding of meaning, including the meaning of words. What part of the brain? Well, it's going to be the left hemisphere, the prefrontal cortex, including the Wernicke's area. All right, Wernicke's area. That's how we make sense of information and encode it. Acoustic encoding is hearing, ears. What part of the brain? Temporal lobe, sound. Visual encoding, picture images, occipital lobe, sight. All right, imagery is using mental pictures. I use this a lot when I used to study back in college. I would draw images to relate to terms, concepts, or things to help it encode into my brain. Mnemonics is a memory aid using techniques to remember stuff. Hippocampus involved memory, short-term memory. Hippos never forget. All right, it's just a special way of organizing and interpreting information to help you remember it. Funny clip from one of my favorite shows, Scrubs. Check it out if you want a little humorous outtake on mnemonics. All right, chunking. All right, this is how I did this stuff. I can remember it in chunks. All right, here's another way to do it. Acronyms. Holmes, Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior, Great Lakes. All right. Sensory and efferent neurons. Sensory and motor neurons. Sensory, afferent. Motor, efferent. Just some clues to help you out. All right. Iconic memory and echoic memory. Iconic memory is a momentary sensory memory of visual stimuli. A photograph or a picture image only lasting no more than a few tenths of a second. This is bombarding our sensory storage right now. Echoic is a momentary sound, just like what just came out of my mouth right there. But you're not remembering every specific sound. You're using semantics to give it meaning and process it into short-term and then eventually long-term storage. That's pretty cool. Super autobiographical memory. Check that out. All right, long-term memory, permanent memory, amnesia, the loss of memory. Now, couple confusing pair here, retrograde versus anterograde. Retro means you can't remember something that happened before an event. Anterograde means you can't remember something that happened after an event. Okay, retro like an old car. Can't remember that old car. Antero, after. Okay, explicit memory is also known as Jeopardy memory. I call it Jeopardy memory. It's your memory of facts and experiences that you can consciously note and declare. Declarative memory. Alex, I'll take state capitals for 500. What is Columbus? What is Raleigh? All right. What helps us with that, as I mentioned before, is the hippocampus, because hippos never forget. It's a neurocenter in the limbic system that helps process explicit memories for storage from short term into long term. Implicit memory, retention independent of conscious recollection, also called procedural memory. It's like swinging a bat, riding a bike, putting your car in drive, and driving. It helps us function. All right, also called procedural memory. You go in procedures. Oh, this is a 10-second Tom for 51st Dates. Another funny clip. Check it out. Where's my pause at? Okay. I'm going to stop right there for part 1 of Unit 5A, memory, and we will roll next time into retrieval, getting the information out of storage.